Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Anyways, yeah, I have an idea. I have an idea for tonight. Okay, so this is the general, let's say, tonal backdrop of this evening's session. Okay, just a quick explanation. Okay. Fortunately, I wish you could see my. I need a Rhodes cam. Dang it. Um. Anyways, so Jojo, what's going on? So here's the thing, right? We're gonna kind of think into being bass notes, but fixed chord progressions, right? Hey, Mike, what's going on, man? So I'm in C sharp, D flat, whatever you want to call it. Like D flat is a it's my favorite key. I think A flat is my favorite. And Daniel. So here's the cool thing, right? You are back, and I didn't have a chance to like tune into any of that stream, least a bit. It's been uh, it's been a busy couple of weeks. It is what it is. Modern. Okay, so one of the cool things is when you play a chord and you change the bass note under that chord, have an all new chord. Okay, so like the simple thing would be like, oh, okay, let's play a C major, and then stick an A under it, and now we're playing an A minor seven, right? That's the view that the customers want. Not my fat ass, but you know, it's a little bit of. So, anyways, so like, and even that you could extend it and say like that's an F9, like, right? And those top three notes, it's Charlie. Those top three notes then just like it's a C major chord, right? So what if we go even more skeletal, thinking like C sharp, G sharp, C sharp, just like fifths and octaves, right? And then when you F sharp underneath, A sounds really cool. Now there's no major. Happy birthday, Audrey. There's no major or minor, tonality to it yet. Like you can kind of fill that in. Just now we're happy. Now we're not happy. So like, even take it down to a D. That's a little crunchy. That's a little crunchy, right? But it's still pretty cool, right? So this is kind of what we're thinking, or what I'm thinking is dealing with kind of like parts parts of a chord, and then combining different parts to make new parts. And I'm thinking the first thing that would be a good thing to use would be a blob of goo, because the blob of goo is a really good device to get you your kind of like your basic that root fifth octave thing that I want. Just do let's do piano. Do piano. No. Let's do pimento. Pimento it's just roasted and dried red peppers ground up. Don't be afraid of pimento. Or no, that's paprika. Pimento is a type of red pepper. Where is my thing with stuff? Processed pianos. Kind of don't want this radical whatever. It's not the greatest piano sound. I still haven't installed Piano Tech here in the studio. I'm dumb. So, is there like a bright? This says nice, grand. What is it? That's fine. There's a little funkiness every time I use this radical piano module, and it's like it sounds like, oh, here's a junky, out of tune piano that's been in your school basement for the last 20 years. Sounds like, yes, that's radical. Okay, anyways. Okay. And I can't talk because if I talk, yeah, it has been a journey, and almost all of it has been on camera, and like that was sort of part of the point. Um, at first, I think I was streaming so that I would have an easy way to have recordings of stuff. Okay, so this is going into Imitor and Agreb filter. Here, there. All right. So this is our starting blob of goo. We're gonna have way better luck using a bit of a bandpass filter. It's necessary. Get out. Okay. Did I hear myself talking in there? I think I did. There it was. Sure. I think I'm going to leave it. Yeah, it's not really intelligible, but that's okay. Yeah. Okay, so now, here's the thing, right? So we add the Imitor. Okay, let's take the clock out, so just because. Well, because as soon as I hit go and I start the clock, which is not running right now, it'll screw up. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. It'll be buried in a blob of stuff. So you can hear, what you can hear is like this, like these kind of like sustained sounds. That's the shimmer that's being added in. So 100% the delay is this. And it only works when you add in a little bit of white noise or chaotic modulation to the output. Everything kind of goes whoosh. Okay, and then obviously we filter. Okay, and let's get sloths wired up. So, hey Liam. Yeah, this might be kind of a long one today, just because it can. Short. Purple boy. Oh, nope. My memory is broken. Purple boy going into long sloths. Let's go into really long sloths, and then red boy will medium sloths. Okay. So now we've got sloths going to this, which means, of course, obviously, it's going to be flexing up and down, but very, 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 very slowly. Okay. All right, so that's just a chunk of the chord. That's just a piece, you know? Other stuff. So there's a few ways that we can do this. What I want to do is get it so that when my bass changes, okay, it here, how's this gonna work? Yeah. What I want to do is make sure that when my bass note changes, that my R bar also changes to a new. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. That's sort of the thing. I'd have to maybe just do a per step basis and maybe use velocity to control the layer of the R bar. It seems like that would work. Okay, so like what I'm talking about is coming from the vector, the sequencer. You've got 3 outs for each part, right? You've got a volt per octave for the pitch. You've got a gate to do gate things. But then you also have a velocity. And the velocity is just a voltage. Each step gets a voltage, 0 to 5. And that I think would work okay. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this thing here. Do that stuff. Do that stuff. Okay. Let's change our key to C sharp. D flat minor. I think that would be okay. I think that'll work. Okay. So if I took each step and I put it on as, like, let's say a whole note, we can adjust probability in a bunch of different ways, okay? Especially because this is a per step basis. We can increase the step length for individual steps, especially steps that play like the basic root tonic, D flat. We can have those steps be like times 8 or something, which means basically you can make the time that C sharp stays much, 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 much longer than any of the other, flavor notes. So let's go pitch to, it doesn't have a sub. I like a sub. I want a sub for this. Guess we'll just use the standard guy up there, because he is the greatest bass oscillator in existence. And if you deny me, I'll fight you. I will fight you with giant inflatable Q-tips. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a challenge. It's going to be a little bit of a trial and error thing, which is, that's really the only thing. Trial and error. So, okay. So, number 1. Gain. 24 dB. And you can hear the sub in there. Whoa, right? So if I hit go, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So let's say for example, let's say that my first 4 steps, those are going to be my D flats, my basic, like, I'm going to put those at 4 whole notes each. Okay, so that like they just last forever. Like those notes are going to be there if they play. The other thing that we can do is go into chance operations. Okay, so let's say I put this one down to an A and this one down to a low F sharp, and I can't play a D. That's too bad. I could do a high G F sharp, which would be all right. Okay. The other thing you could do is just like make it really, really long, you know? Which kind of becomes almost the same sort of thing. You don't notice that there is a rhythm if it lasts minutes, you know? Or that there's, you know, clocked timing of it. It'll just sort of happen and change. Okay, so if we go into chance probability or chance operations, I actually want to go to type first. So there, the type is skip. Like you can set it to skip this particular step and have a range where it does that. Okay, and you can have that as a pattern. So I'm going to basically put those guys, those 3 notes, those sort of like weird notes. Let's make this one a little bit longer. Okay, so now if I hit go, it should just kind of track along and just sort of do its thing. And then the goal would be to take each step and assign a velocity level that we can then send to the R bar to do things. Wondrous things. Amazing things. So velocity, this is going to go to layer control. Okay. So what I really want is like, it's still on D flat on the vector here. And I can always increase the number of steps in this sequence too. Because right now it's only an 8-step sequence. We can make it up to 32. Alright, so it's on the purple layer already. That's really pretty far. We don't want that on the purple layer. We want that someplace else. Okay, right now it's on... So that's purple. Step 6 is purple. It's fine. I'm just going to leave it there. We'll just fill up the purple layer with something recording. Okay? So, speaking of which... let's get that ready. And we'll load this up with something nifty. I just want to double check a couple of things here. do it. This is going to take forever to find what's going on here. So I'm just going to go... I wanted to see the fifth step. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do chance probability of 100% on the first 4 steps. That way, it just skips those next time it generates. Hopefully. Is it just plays... it just plays it anyways. Thanks. Okay, yellow. Good to know. Okay, yellow is the flat 6. And purple is the 4. I guess I could do... a 5. Could do a fifth note. Okay, so yellow, let's turn this off, and everything else. And then what we need is a couple of sounds. I still got reason up. I might as well just use it for this too. What do we want to do? What we want to do. Thinking something kind of different. I'm not just going to use a static chord. So maybe basic. We'll go basic, like sawtooth wave. I'm going to grab a Thor synth, reset it, and turn the filter all the way open on sawtooth, and make sure that my envelopes don't die instantly. That should be it. Yeah. So this is all we need, is this like kind of raw sound. Now this is the A. So a little bit of a melodic line in there. And then let's do the purple layer as well, which is going to be an F sharp. Eagle-eared listeners will notice that I didn't play a root note in that little chunk right there. Oh wait, I was going to do a fifth also. I haven't found out which step that is though, or which velocity that is, which layer it kicks. I just want to wait. So I have to wait now for it to hit step 7. So that being the case, let's turn it down to a half note. Come on, just do it already. Bruh. Okay, there's step 6. There's 7. 7 is yellow. I don't want yellow. We already have a yellow. Let's a couple more notches on that guy. Step 6 is purple. Okay. Step 5 is yellow. There we go. It's an aqua layer. Okay. And that is the 5th. So what we need is this layer right here. I think that'll work okay. There's a little bit of movement in each layer too, so as the layer itself pans back and forth, you'll hear notes changing along with the chords. Honestly, I think the combination of these two voices alone is going to be pretty sweet. And let's give it that negative voltage to the reverb. Open the filter all the way. Okay, now I got to redo my bass sequence and make sure that those probability adjustments are not permanent. Otherwise, it's going to just do nothing. Okay. Do it! Oh, clock isn't on. Oh, that would help. That would help a lot to actually record a basic layer. Hang on. Uno momentito, por favor. Oops. Glad I didn't close my DAW. Okay. Good enough. Good enough. It's a lot of low clipping in there. A little bit of distortion. I think that's just input clipping when I recorded it. But I'm fine with it. And we're going to filter most of that out anyways. Okay, now let's put this in the faster sloths so it doesn't coincide with the other voices. In fact, the bass we could put as a negative. Still haven't heard it change yet, but we'll have to just be patient. Okay, that's fine. That's wonderful. That's okay. Peachy. I'm debating something here. I'm going to do a little, maybe just like Rhodes improv. But I need to check something first. I need to see if the gain levels on this thing are going to like completely go stupid when I record something. No, that's pretty good. Sounds good. Nice. Nice. I'm going to go for a while on this. Okay? Just FYI. Oh, it already stopped recording. How much did it actually get then? God damn it. This thing. Stardust, you need a boot to the head. You're not clocked. You're not in clock mode. Oh. Fuck. Screwed up. I gotta redo the whole thing now. That is so annoying. It's okay. I have better ideas. NASA Control Center? No. Yeah, I don't have a tremolo for my Rhodes. I mean, I guess we could make one. It's not a bad idea. Let's do it. Let's make one. Why not? That's the whole point of this, right? That's literally the purpose of this particular setup. And what I'm doing is to be able to make things when you want them. Right? Right! Too much? It's not fast enough. There she is. course it records. Okay, so we're going to do a couple things to this dude. Number one, I want a semi-random gate going to the reverse switch so that, you know, sometimes it reverses. That's nifty. And then take a chunk of this and put it into the slice skip. Let's try skip first. And then take a little filter. Clock needs to run. Okay. So that's going to be kind of another drone. But because it's sort of sparse, it's just going to chime in melody notes every once in a while. I think I also want another gate going to the playback so that it plays and pauses. So we'll take the one from the other side here, the other channel. We'll just go there. And now you just don't play very much. Just every once in a while, it's like, hey, I'm going to play now. Oh, now I'm done. So it might play during a silence, in which case we still get nothing, right? Multiple ways of changing probability, right? You can change probability with literal electronic probability. You can change probability with time, stretch the time out, right? There's a lot of different ways. So filters, a bunch of things. So, all right, so this is only 4 voices. Keep in mind. Let's unhook this here tremolo and put our LFOs back to normal. Where is my bass? It no exist. We're gonna need some, of course, more parts than this. Other moving parts. Maybe some voices or something. So the bass is getting a little bit hot right now. Well, that's because it's like the filter's way open. So, all right, okay. So you know, I don't want to blow the mood early. I don't want to, you know, metaphorically shoot my wad. I looked at the thing and then my brain combined the two. Hey, Seymour. Let's get a neat, like, little arpeggiated moving part kind of a little thing. Something, just some little, like, you know, like fairy dust. Fairy dust, man. You know what I mean. This is gonna be yellow because reasons. No real reason. Okay, so this trigger is coming out of the Turing machine. Right? It's on the most rare gate out of the pulses expansion,
but I also have a clock divider attached to it, so I can just dial that down to decrease probability. What I want to do is put this on a burst generator. Okay, actually, what I want to do is get two different outputs to this thing. So let's just dupe the trigger right away. Just be like, here, doink, there, and then this is going to go to another envelope right next door. That's going to do basically a long attack decay, just pee, and that's going to go to the FM input of an oscillator. Preferably one that's close enough that my cable will reach. You have failed. You have failed in your cabling. Oh, this has got to be way differently set here. This has to be like that, and then like that. A little faster. One like a little see, like that kind of thing. See? All right, so this goes to the FM. And if we just listen to only that output, let's take the even output here. We'll use a little IntelliGel filter there, a little SVF, because it's awesome. And then I'm going to take the bandpass out of said filter, okay? And that's what we get. Okay, so one extra level. Just take this shit to the next level. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to take the output of that, and we're going to go into a VCA. And then we're going to take the output of the VCA. We're going to go into the filter. You are not needed. But what is needed is a duplication of that envelope that is changing the pitch. Right? So we're going to take this little dude and we're going to be like, here, let's make a hodgepodge of random cable horribleness. Here, doink. And then this guy's going up here to channel 1. Oh my god. All right, cool. And then that's... And then it dies away. See? As you want. Bro, stop. Stop firing so much. Quit it. We could even take a split off of that same envelope and bring it into the filter, which is a good idea. Okay. Now, the burst generator. No, I'm kind of doing this wrong. I don't need to do this. The burst generator is the thing that's going to control our VCA. Yeah, see, that's what I don't want right there, is that leftover. Okay. Okay, so let's do this again. We're going to take the output of that envelope. And we're going to duplicate. This is just the ramp envelope, and this is going to go. Let's just actually put it, well, no, let's put it FM here, so just in case. Do it. Do it. Okay, that's better. That's better. All right, now we slow the clock down. We just go, boink, here, 1/10 of the speed. I don't like that I can still hear it. That bugs me. All right, and then this guy is going into the... Let's put it in the Holocene delay. Got multiple delays that we can play with. Or even got an extra FX aid. And I get the Z echoes down here. And all kinds of different things. So yeah, this guy, and then we'll just drench it in reverb, and then when it actually goes off, it'll just be like a happy little like thing, you know? You know. I think that'll do. Now all it has to do is actually play. Okay, I want that to last. Okay, and I don't like the fact that it just keeps playing like multiple times in a row, which means that when we hear it, it's going to be like constant, and that's literally the whole point of this, is to not have it constant. I need like a gate skipper module. That's what I need. You could, okay, let's, all right. Let's, you want to take this to the next level? Let's take this to the next level. I'm going to take that gate output, all right? I got this little drum sequencer down here, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to put this down to one output. That's it. It's going to put out a gate or a trigger on step 1. Okay? And then the clock for that is going to be that gate out. Okay? So then what we can do is speed this clock back up again. We can put it at full speed, in fact, which is a 16th note. Okay? And then every time it gets a clock signal, it should play only on that first step. Ooh, I don't think it is. It's not getting a constant clock. It's not cycling. That's unfortunate. Okay, so instead of using this, we'll use the Behringer sequencer, which is right next to it. That one works totally fine. So basically turn every single step all the way down, except for like step 1. All right. So this is going to be CV out 1. And then this is going to be the trigger in. Okay. And so it's basically running as an 8-step sequencer, right? But it only will output voltage to our envelopes on step 1, which means every 8 times it gets this gate pattern or this gate signal from the Turing machine, it'll put out a sound. So even if it plays twice in a row, it won't. See? And nothing happened. Why did nothing happen? Do I have to take it to... Oh, I need to turn up the voltage on the first step. That's why. Here we go. Do it. Do it. It's there. It happened. It worked. Okay, cool. It worked. More parts. More parts. More parts, more parts, more parts. I'm thinking something kind of more melodic would be sort of neat. Maybe just like a really kind of like a longer part. In fact, let's take this off of the clock. Let's do like a speed, and we'll just slow it down. This is just like a generically like long or short or whatever. We can do all sorts of different timings on stuff. Percentage of the beat. Yeah, let's just use the regular like speed control here. And randomness. So we'll gate each one of these steps, but those are our notes. Dude, that's a really good question. Although I gotta say, I've been shaving my head for like 20 years. So I think I was the first. I was the originator of the style. All bow before me. No, this is going to the dimension. And let's put this through some kind of interesting filter. I'm actually thinking maybe use the font because it's got that built-in VCA and that makes me happy. But what I want to do is get the envelope on this thing to be a slow attack time and then a really, really quick decay time so that it's like a reverse envelope kind of thing. Just like whap. Theoretically. Okay, so we take output of this dude, and then this is going to go into the cosmic debris. Who you jabbing with your cosmic debris? I hear you. Why are you so quiet, bro? Yes. That's what we need. That's what I need. All right. So we're going to do two things. We're going to, number one, we're going to probability of this 75% chance that it just rests. Doesn't even play a step. So boom, right there, we have way less. Let's get some modulation going to this oscillator though, because this is a vowel shift. So we're going to put this right in the middle and turn up like a good amount of CV. Be like, here, boom. Boom. I love Spangle and 1200 mics and Younger Brother, yes. And Hallucinogen and... yeah, my goatee I shave off about once a year. I start from scratch at least once a year. I kind of get a bug up my ass, and I'm just like, let's just chop it off. And I'm a school teacher, so it's kind of hilarious. I go in, and everybody's like, nice. That's what I was looking for right there. Now let's get another LFO going to the fold, but just a tiny bit. I don't want a massive amount. Now, let's also put the mode on bandpass and give it some resonance. I don't hear it playing. It's not playing right now. Turn down the probability that it skips. Do the thing. Do it. Play. Oh, in the meantime, let me turn up my delay time and stuff too, because that... Okay, let's kill that completely. And let's get weird with this also. This guy's got a VCA, okay? So what I want to do is take... I'm going to take the output of a VCA, and it's going to go into the drive input, okay? I'm going to take a clock out, doink, and that's going to go into a really, really short envelope, i.e. I'm going to turn the clock into a trigger. Okay, because here's why, right? If you just put a straight trigger in there, those hard edges of the voltages, you're going to hear clicks and pops constantly, right? That's going to go into the input of that VCA, okay? And then what we need is for some kind of other source to control the level of it, which can come from all kinds of different places, right? We can use, let's use a funky LFO shape on the Zadar. I think that'll be fun. That'd be all right, you know? There's some weird ones in here. I like the really chaotic ones that look like just like lines of static. And then you put it on like ultra slow. And then you just basically go to like, oh, that we want to go here. We want to repeat infinite. And then we just turn it into an LFO that moves really, really slow. There. This one is 74 seconds. A little bit much on the feedback. That's coming from the cosmic debris. In fact, if we bypass that completely, what we end up with is this. Hello? Hello? Yeah, like that kind of thing. So we're going to constantly get that kind of thing. Could even speed that up just a little bit if we wanted, but it's just weird and neat. Okay, and then we'll add this back in. Okay, one more voice. Yeah, and maybe some like spooky voices. What's the vibe here? What's the vibe in this? I don't even know yet. But I feel like some strange disconnected voices would always be welcome. Like that's always a fun thing. Everybody likes strange phantom voices. Oh yeah. Well, there's a lot of work that goes into it. That's the thing. Like Simon Posford is a fucking genius as far as like sound design. Dude, that guy gets things out of synthesizers that, you know, it's just unbelievable. I would say Infected Mushroom would be a good inheritor of that. Especially some of their trippier stuff, like disc 2 of converting vegetarians and stuff. I haven't heard much from Spongel in a while. Actually, I haven't listened to it in a while either. I've been on a Shearwater kick. Shearwater is an indie band out of Austin, Texas. Really, really, really cool. Cool vibes. Just like cool vibes. What do we search for strange voiceovers or I'm just going to listen to this for a second here and give myself a little bit of the vibe of what's going on. This feels very Arctic to me. Okay, I'm listening to a documentary on the Shackleford expedition. Oh, damn, it's got music in the background. See, that sucks. Nope, that's not going to work. It's got music in the background. God damn, man. That's going to be annoying. Honestly, I just want something random. Doesn't even have to mean anything or be like deep or mean at all. Just voices. Damn it. Every time I start recording, it's like music starts. And of course, it's never in the right key. That would be a useful thing, but. Good enough. That's fine. It's just a woman talking about Shackleton. Whatever. Yeah, I was thinking about putting an ARP, putting an arpeggio in there someplace. Something that comes and goes, right? It's not always there. Okay. Anyways, voiceover thing, and we need to turn down the. It's like internally feeding back and basically breaking the world. Honestly, I only need mono out this thing. It's spectacular. Might give me a little bit more headroom, so why not? We'll just put in 2 input. Hope that there's no phase cancellation or strange artifacts, which I doubt there. This guy can go into sea legs. Heavy resonance. Not that heavy.
Very, very closely indeed. It coincided with
There's sort of my minimum level where I want it to completely disappear. So easy one would be to take the really slow sloth and just dump it into the volt per octave of that filter and just call it a day. Walk away. Let it do its thing. You know, we could do other stuff. You can do, you know, length and stuff and then be like, hey, let's make goofball, you know, weird jittery bits and things. So like we can actually that would be cooler. Okay, that would be way cooler. Let's give it a little bit of a random voltage of some sort into the start point. It's called. So where do we get that random voltage? Well, we got this here labyrinth sitting here. Oh, also I have an SSF ultra random analog. That would be like the logical, just like give it a completely separate. Here, the A out of the alpha out, channel A into the. It's the start point, right? Oh my god, is that, dude? God damn it! Ow, my eyes. The goggles, they do nothing. Nothing. There we go. All right, and then output level all the way up. Fast is that? Clock rate. All right, so we'll put this kind of in the middle. And let it just kind of do its goofball thing of just sort of jogging around. There, so like you see, if I turn the clock rate up, it starts twitching all over the place and flipping and flopping, doing its thing. It's just gibberish, you know. There's nothing in there, nothing left. So, okay. Let that go. Arpeggio. Arpeggio that fades in and out every once in a while. Idea. Okay. All right. Number one, we are going to use a sloths into a comparator. Okay. Sloths. Picture a voltage that, like, let's say, here's your 0 volts, right? My 1U row is your 0 volts. A sloth will kind of just, like, go up, and then it's down, and then it goes up again. And then sometimes it goes, whoa, and it goes down here into, like, negative voltage range. And so it inscribes this path, and this is a mathematically derived path of a particle under gravity, okay? The gravity's in the middle. So sometimes it crosses the plane into negative. Sometimes it goes back up to the top. Sometimes it swirls around at the top for a while, right? When it gets above a certain voltage, the comparator will fire off a gate, okay? I'm going to start this in the fastest sloths so that I can kind of like figure out my comparator, like voltage level. Where? Oh, it's way the fuck over. Damn it. Ginormous friggin' cable here. And it's red. There's too much red in this system. It's too late. We're committed. Doesn't matter. Okay, so input
Damn it. Okay, so theoretically, when the sloth's light goes green, it's on a higher voltage. Okay, so what we need to do is kind of find a place where, when it's at its brightest, it pops on a red light. Right there. Boom. Okay, that red light is a gate out, right? Which we can use to trigger an envelope of some sort. All right, now keep in mind, this is going to be on the slowest setting. Okay. Envelope, meaning, you know what? Let's trigger one of the channels of the stochastic function generator, which I rarely use as an envelope because I love it so much as a organic, like, flexy. So we turn... God, I can't do that shit. How come every modular synth guy is a bald guy with a goatee and wears reading glasses? Because your shit's too damn small. Okay, one shot. That's what I need. One shot. All right. And that's fine and dandy. So we're going to go, like, no offset, but decent enough amplitude. But it's going to have a slow attack and decay each time that fires off. Which is, you know, kind of exactly what you want. Something like this. Let's do... Oh, the Eon filter has a built-in VCA. This was a recent idiot read the manual discovery. And I'm proud of myself for not reading the manual of the module that I bought. Yeah, super smart. Anyways, here's the VCA level right here. Goes in yonder. Okay. Do we have any more interesting effects maps? Particularly. Let's go output. Got a bunch of effects modules over here too in the other. All right, so theoretically, this should fade in and out. Not hearing it fading in and out. I have to turn the VCA level all the way down, probably. Waiting for the comparator is firing off. It's getting an envelope right now. Is it just... see if this works. Okay, should be going. But it's not fading in and out, like, at all. So, it's weird. It sort of is. Sort of kind of is. And then this we'll put into the filter frequency. Just give us a little bit more control over it. What's weird is the whole comparator envelope thing. Let's put this in a different envelope. Let's just swap something out here quick. And I'll throw it this here voltage into a Zadar channel. It's one. Okay, and then we'll just put it on a basic swell. Crank the time up. At 30 seconds. It's a bit. Okay. That output will go into the VCA. Oh, and it refired like midway through. See, that's really annoying. All right, now keep in mind this is going into the slowest of the sloths. In fact, let's put it in an independent slow sloths right now, and let it just start cycling and doing its thing. Okay, and I think we're about time to throw everything together. You know what that means? Chaos. Chaos and madness will fill the air. No, trippy video effects. And if you're not into that, then look away. You know, if you're like photosensitive or something. Look away! Look away! Do it. Sit back. Relax. Listen. No distractions. Phone down. is my first chord change there. See these three lights right at my fingertip? The middle one, when it goes green, then we'll hear the voices.
He's coming out with a 4K version of it too. It's supposed to ship, I think, at the end of July. Probably really expensive. I wish this would do 60 frames per second. I think that would be choice, but it's beyond the engine's capabilities. Meh. Early adopters curse. Very happy with how this whole thing turned out, I'll be honest. I still haven't heard the voices. Could film another standalone. Just leave it the way it is. It'll stay there. Except for the blob of goo, but that's easy. Rebuild might happen as soon as Wednesday this week. I don't know yet.
Must have a good sub. Excellent. Something that I wouldn't recommend. I'm going to change this sloths that's controlling the voices and the couple other things to the other one. Because it's been sitting in a negative voltage literally the whole time now. Thanks. Trippy voices. High enough up, I think. It's also getting a bipolar voltage out, so I should have had the filter frequency in the middle. I just had it too low. That was part of the problem. But yeah, it's been sitting on red the whole time. With the sloth's outputs, the first and second ones are reverse polarity of each other. They're the same, like, particle, just flip-flopped.
Cosmic debris.
very much
No, I don't have any CV going to the video right now. I should. It'd be really easy to program a couple of quick things just to like take a sloth split and throw it in there. That'd be sort of cool. Yeah, this is the voice thing. And even with no effects on it, you have no idea what it is. It's become German or something. That's so weird. Okay, enough of that. We're gonna summon some demons or something, and I don't want to deal with that tonight. So, I think I'd say number one, there's a good possibility of a stream tomorrow. Probably tomorrow night. I don't know what. So, keep an ear out, whatever, or hit that bell. Subscribe. You know you want to. You know you haven't yet. Most appreciated. Doesn't really do except sublimate a small part of your soul, which then gets absorbed. It's a small price to pay. Anyways, thanks for joining.